Hi everyone, and welcome to Washington Echoes, where we travel back through time. I'm Audrey Fletcher, and I'm here today to share with you the mystery of the Roman arches in Washington Village. How did they get there? Our story begins in 1613, when Washington Village saw the beginning of a new era of regeneration. For it was in that year that the old hall was sold to William James, Bishop of Durham, who in turn settled it on his youngest son Francis. The building was turned into a gentleman's residence. A new central wing was added to accommodate a cellar and staircase and possibly an extra floor. Meanwhile, the double arches in the main hall and the Anglo-Saxon arch above the new fireplace remained untouched. Before renovations began in earnest on the old hall in 1951, it had been decided to represent the building as an example of 17th century architecture, with the result that architectural features of the building from any time earlier than 1600 were deliberately removed. A prime example of this is the keystone of the Anglo-Saxon arch above the fireplace, which Christopher Bennett noted was removed during renovation. Possibly the arch was originally from a tomb recess in the Anglo-Saxon church and of Roman origin. The height of the fireplace is better demonstrated in this photo of Fred Hill making a pre-restoration inspection. And here are examples of Roman arches in the style of the fireplace at Leicester and at Hadrian's Wall. Even the arches, which are the most striking feature in the Great Hall, had their keystones removed. Fortunately, however, the ancient central column was left untouched. In this previously unpublished photo, the original arches, which were a stylistic feature of the new home of William de Wessington in the 12th century, were revealed during renovations. These original arches with keystones were of a much earlier period, Roman. Notice how they were round and not pointed as we see them today. They were reconstructed during the renovations in the 1950s, and by omitting the keystones, the arches became more pointed and narrow. In this early renovation photo to the left of the screen, taken shortly after the official opening of the newly renovated Old Hall in 1955, the left-hand arch is still Roman and infilled with stone. However, after the official opening, the stone fill from the left-hand arch was removed and the round Roman arch was altered to become more pointed, like the one on the right. Now, at the same time that William de Wessington was building his manor house back in the 12th century for his new wife, Countess Margaret, sister to William the Lion, King of Scotland, he was also remodelling the Anglo-Saxon church, St. Mary's, in Wessington Village. So, just as he recycled the tomb recess for a fireplace, he would also have recycled this Roman double archway. But hang on a minute. What happened to the wattle and daub? Where did the Anglo-Saxons of Weshen acquire these advanced techniques of building in stone? I wonder, do you remember my YouTube video about Brugeford Chapel? Well, the original Anglo-Saxon church at Washington Village would have been not unlike Brugeford Chapel, a single-cell church built in the Roman style and using Roman materials from the nearby abandoned Roman forts. Moreover, The architecture of Brugerford Chapel and the Anglo-Saxon church at Washington Village would have been based upon their mother church of St. Paul's at Jarrow Monastery, dating back to 685 AD. The Anglo-Saxon church at Weshen was built using the same traditional methods as Monk Wearmouth Jarrow, and very probably by the same Frankish Gaul builders, brought over by Abbot Benedict in 674. The building materials were readily available from the nearby Reckington and Chestley Street Roman forts. So, the materials which William de Wessington recycled from the Anglo-Saxon village church to use in his new manor house were Roman. In comparing these pictures, you will notice how the Roman doorways to both St. Peter's Church at Monk Wearmouth and the Anglo-Saxon part of the Washington Village Church are identical, and therefore both of Roman origin. Moreover, the Anglo-Saxon arch or doorway on the green at Washington Village was also from a nearby Roman fort at Reckington or Chestley Street, and is almost identical to the Roman arch which was reused at Jarrow Monastery in 685 AD. It would also have been recycled from the Anglo-Saxon village church by William de Wessington in the 12th century. And here we have a view of the inside of the 12th century vaults behind the Roman doorway on the village green. A further example of Roman masonry, which had been recycled to build the Anglo-Saxon village church, St. Mary's, can be found nestled in the stone walls at Washington Village. Look carefully at this stone above, and you will see a star carved into Roman diamond broaching stonework. This stone came from the demolished Anglo-Saxon church. Further evidence of an Anglo-Saxon church at Washington Village includes these Anglo-Saxon Christian crosses carved onto stones and found in the walls around the village green. This is my interpretation of how the early Anglo-Saxon church at Washington Village would have looked when it was first built, possibly around 685 AD. Based upon nearby Brugerford Chapel, it would have been a single-cell church built in the Roman style and using Roman materials from the nearby abandoned Roman forts at Reckington or Chestley Street. Furthermore, it would have been attached to the Jarrow, Monk Wearmouth Benedictine monasteries. There can be no doubt that these are Roman arches in Washington Village, but the question remains, were they recycled from St. Mary's, the Anglo-Saxon church on the hill, when William de Wessington I was building a new home for his wife, Countess Margaret, sister to William the Lion, King of Scotland? Or are they part of original structures built by the Roman soldiers in Washington Village? What do you think? Well, everyone, I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation and have been inspired to search around the Washington Green area for further evidence of an Anglo-Saxon community, the hamlet of Weshen. I look forward to sharing my continued research into Washington history with you in my next video. Bye for now.